Did you spend much time behind the blue curtain at UCLA?
I did not spend much time, and in fact, it was a little different structure when I was there. There was literally a blue curtain, and on one side of that blue curtain was the gymnastics men and women. We had a great gymnastics team there. In fact, when we got to play in the '84 Olympics in LA as host, 3 of the 6 men on the gold medal winning team, half the team, 3 out of 6, were Bruins. So we had a fantastic team, including Peter Vidmar, who's a buddy of mine and just one of the all-time greats in gymnastics, and just a really good man, good human being. But so on the other side of the curtain, we had 3 volleyball courts. So there was no sending anybody on the other side of the curtain, because at that time that would have been sending them onto the gymnastics mat, and we didn't know how to do flips. But what people would get is, when we boiled down to the later parts of practice in the 6-on-6, there was like an A court and then a non-A court, and if somebody blew it on the A court, they got sent 2 courts down to where the other action was, what some guys refer to as the brown squad. But also in other years when gymnastics wasn't there, that's where the other court was. So physically there was no curtain between parts of the volleyball team, but there was this from previous years and in future years, this concept of, hey, if I screw up, I might end up somewhere else, and I might have to spend a lot of time working my way out of the doghouse and back onto the A court.
Well, I'm glad you explained that, because there probably are some people watching who may not have known about Al Gates' system back in the day.
And sometimes I think in other eras before me and after me, there literally was a curtain and a court on the other side of it.
Yeah.
I think Mike Dodd volunteered there for a year or 2, and so he was handling some of the guys who were on the other side of the curtain, and doing what he could to help them work their way back up into the top echelons, I guess. So,
get you out of here on this. What's the pressure like? And I know the standard coach answer, and I'm sure it's going to be the same, is it comes from within. But what is the pressure like?
Well, we have a great program. The USA Women's Program has a long history of success, a long history of great players, of great coaches, and I'm just carrying one of many people who are trying to carry forward that tradition, but take it to an even higher level. Because along with that long tradition, there's a long tradition of being really good but not standing on the top of the podium. And so it took the USA Women 62 years until 2014 at the World Championships to actually win one of those majors. The majors being the World Championships, the World Cup, and the Olympics. And we had a great chance to win the World Cup this year, but fell 1 match, 1 win short of that. Absolutely capable of doing that. Disappointing that we didn't. But our job is to try to make those major titles happen sooner rather than later. Again, the USA have never won a World Cup and never won an Olympics, and so our job is to try to, we know it's going to happen at some point. I don't know if that's 100 years from now or 10 months from now. I would like it to be 10 months from now. We didn't know about the World Championships, and after 62 years we made that happen. So we know we have it in us, and we're putting, I think, more pressure on ourselves, pushing ourselves to continue to improve, to continue to expand on what we're capable of, and we know we're capable of a lot. We've already shown it, so we'd like to continue the path that we're on, and to finish first in the World Championships and 3rd in the World Cup. That's not a bad couple of majors there, and so we're looking to build on, and to win Grand Prix this year, and looking to build on that for next year.
Well, your celebratory pose after winning was pretty epic, and it's become part of the volleyball pop culture. I can only imagine if you were fortunate enough to win a gold medal in Rio.
I would be so happy for all the players and all the people who've put in so much time to this team over decades. people who played, we have Americans who played in the first ever Olympic Games in 1964 in Tokyo and have been cheering the team on. And have cheered the team on to 3 silver medals at the Olympics in 1984. Paula Weishoff was a part of that group. And then in the last 2 Olympics. But there's so much tradition and so many people who've helped this program get to where it is and on whose shoulders we're standing that we would be really proud to make, to achieve something like that for all of the people who've contributed to the history of the women's national team.